what's up guys, it's Jameson Wolff from Jameson Wolff Fitness Systems. Today I want to show you a recently new product called the Miracle Berry. These are tablets, but you can actually get a freeze-dried Miracle Berries. And what they do is they change the perception of your tongue. So they change the taste receptors on your tongue from sour foods and turns them into sweet foods. So I'm going to test out a couple different foods today and maybe talk about some of the application that you could use with these. So for instance, how do they work? Miracle berries it's a berry that grows on a plant that in West Africa, and aboriginal cultures in West Africa use them to spruce up their diet. So Western man has brought it over here, and so it's been used in a lot of culinary arts, a lot of culinary foods and things like that. There's even a cookbook now on it as well. So how it works basically is the fruit itself contains a glycoprotein called miraculin, and miraculin will bind to the different receptors on the tongue and change certain foods that would normally be more acidic and sour into more sweet foods by attracting the protons on them. And so it's really trippy to try these out, because when you start eating more sour foods, especially citric foods like lemons and things like that, it's a trip for your tongue. Your body knows that you're eating it, but your tongue says otherwise. So we're going to test some foods out. I got this one from, I ordered off Amazon. It's Miracle Fruities. You can also, Berry makes one. You could also buy freeze-dried, which is probably the most expensive way to do it. You can buy plants and try to grow it, but I believe that takes quite a few years to actually get berries off from it. So I don't know how economical it is, but it is fun to try it out. And there might be some application for fat loss as well. And the reason why behind that is if we can have sour foods that are relatively low calorie, like lemons and things like that, and we can take these beforehand, then it's sort of like a natural sweetener for your tongue. So that works really well for that. So you can kind of lower, if you're dieting down for a bodybuilding show or a fitness show, then what you can do is take one of these and you can reduce your macronutrient intake from carbohydrates and things like that, where you don't have to add in sugars. So that can be helpful. Alright, so I'm going to be testing a couple of these. Today I'm going to be testing all this kind of food, so I've already measured all this food out for my own nutrition plan, so we're going to have some fun eating today. So basically you're going to get a pack like this. It costs anywhere from, after shipping and taxes, 17 to 20 bucks, and you get about 10 tablets. So that's less than $2 a tablet, which is not that bad. Like I said, if you were to do this every single meal, it may not be the most economical thing to do. Alright, so anyways, here you go. So you're going to get a bunch of tablets in the box itself, and there'll be 10 of them, and you just simply pop one out. And I believe the ingredient is very low calorie. There's not a lot of sugar in the berry itself, and this is a one that will not go bad, obviously. They've dried it out, and I think they mixed it with cornstarch. What do they say here? Yeah. And they use dried miracle fruit pulp and potato starch. There you go. So it's not much. So all you do is you put this on your tongue, and you're going to let it dissolve. It doesn't taste like much. You're just going to let it dissolve around the tongue for like a minute until it breaks it up. Don't swallow it right away. Let it completely cover the tongue. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dissolve for a few minutes, and then we're going to first try out the fruit. We'll start with the lemon because I do want to use a lower pH food to again change that proton, attract the protons on my tongue. So yeah, it doesn't taste like much. Like a sweet, woody flavor. But it's not that bad. Okay, so at this amount of time, I've let it dissolve. It should be pretty much ready to go. I'm going to start with the lemon again because it's acidic, and I'm going to see what it's like. So let's try it out. Now normally this would make me, pucker my lips quite a bit if I were to eat this. So let's see. That is extremely good. Basically, it has a little bit of sour flavor, but I'm not really puckeering. It's literally like lemonade, as if someone took lemon juice and put sugar in it. That's actually really good. I should try another one of those. So, it's still a little bit sour, but not nearly the same as if you would have put a lemon in your mouth without one of these miracle berries. That's really good. That's like sweet. Okay, so next up I'm going to try grapefruit. I hate grapefruit because it's way too bitter and I've never fully enjoyed it. So with the new miracle berries, I'm going to try that. So let's try the grapefruit. Much more palatable for me. Still has a little bit of a bitter flavor, but it's actually sweet. I could see myself actually eating that after using miracle berries. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to try the orange. Very sweet. Very, very sweet. I like that. No bitterness or sourness. It might just be because I'm hungry too, but this tastes really good. It's like literally like you're sprinkling sugar on your fruit, which is common. That's really good. Okay, I'm going to try Granny Smith apple, and as you know, that's quite a sour fruit, so let's try it out. It completely takes away the sourness. No sour apple here. That's really good. That's like eating a normal apple that's not as sour. It literally takes away that that sourness of the Granny Smith apple. That's good. All right, next up I'm going to try the strawberries. Okay, exactly as if you were to sprinkle powdered sugar all over these strawberries. You know when you get that one strawberry, it's just super sweet and just extremely good. Even the ones that are not like that, taste exactly like that. That is so good. That's one of my favorites, definitely. Okay, let's try a cherry. Well, I'd say probably about the same. Maybe a little bit more sweet, but still good. But I wouldn't say not as big a difference as most of these I've tried. And final fruit besides tomato, I'm gonna try the watermelon. So let's see what that's like. That's really sweet. That's pretty good. Nice. Alright. Next up, I'm going to try some of the vegetables. So I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. I never really have liked them. So I'm going to attempt to try one now and see what that's like. It's not bad, but I still don't like tomatoes. No thanks. It's a little more sweet, but I'm just not a fan. Not so much. Alright, I'm going to try celery. Celery kind of has a little bit of a sour, salty taste to it, so. Yeah, you can taste the difference. It's more crisp. It definitely enhances the flavor of celery. And there's not a lot of flavor of celery anyways, so it's actually pretty good. No, I enjoy that. I could eat a bag of celery now. I could before anyways. Alright, so I'm going to try the carrots next. Not a lot of difference. Tastes like pretty much a carrot to me. Not a whole lot of difference there. What about broccoli? I'm not a big fan of raw broccoli by itself, unless you smother it in dip like ranch or something. But, let's see. I do like it cooked. Still tastes like raw broccoli, but I have to say it's not that bad. I could eat this if I had to, sure. Well, rhubarb. My nana used to make rhubarb pie, and I think I tried rhubarb when I was a kid, and I don't even know if you're supposed to cook it or anything, but I do know that it's supposed to be pretty sour, and I don't think I've ever liked it in the past. So I'm going to try it now and see what it tastes like. Oh my god. Extremely sweet. That has to be because of the miracle berries. That's actually delicious. Oh, it's like eating a candy stick. A weird, fibrous candy stick. Alright, that's good. I have a little bit more of that. That's so good. I don't think rhubarb is supposed to taste like this. I'm pretty sure, but it's good. I wonder if a rhubarb pie would taste more sweet if you had this. Okay, one of my favorite veggies to eat now, if rhubarb is a veggie, I believe it is with the miracle berry for sure. Nice. Alright, we're going to try an onion. See what that's like. I like onions, but raw onions can kind of flare up my nose. This is not a sweet onion. It's just a generic Costco onion. But you know what? It definitely makes it more sweet. I also have a pickled onion here. I'm going to try that. Yeah. A lot more sweet. Still has that kind of tanginess, but a definite sweetness. Alright, this is cool. This is cool. Alright, I'm gonna rinse my palate just a little bit. So far, the only thing I don't like is the tomato. Go figure. Alright, next up, I'm gonna try the pickle. See if it's gonna be somewhat like the pickled onion. Oh my god. It's almost like one of those sweet pickles. This is a dill pickle. Almost like one of those sweet pickles. But it still has the dill in it. That's good. Nice. Okay, so next I'm going to try the cheddar cheese. So cheddar cheese and other cheeses have that bite, you know, that bitter bite. So I'm going to try it and let's see what it's like. completely takes away that bite. And some people really like that crisp cheese bitterness, that bite to it, but it takes it right away. Finally, you can just taste the cheesiness. That's good. Unless you really like that bite that cheese gives. This is a cool experience. It's pretty awesome. Okay, next up I'm going to try the walnuts. A lot of walnuts have a little bit of bitterness to them, especially if they've been out or on air a lot. So I'm going to try these ones out. Kind of makes it taste like nothing now, which is sad because walnuts are pretty high in fat. I definitely like the walnuts a lot more without the miracle berry. Maybe it's that bitterness that I like, but it kind of makes them kind of bland. Nice and crunchy still, but it's definitely missing something. So I wouldn't do the walnuts again. All right. Let's see what else here. I'll get to the sour cheese soon. Next up, let's try I have a bunch of different dairy products here. Now, I kept most of the food relevant to what I'm trying to get to at here is fat loss, or at least help in weight management. So I got 0% Greek yogurt, Liberty. I got 95 to no fat cream cheese, Philadelphia. I got 2% cottage cheese. I could have got 1%, but I didn't want to buy a big tub, so I got 2%. And I got non-fat sour cream. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try the sour cream first. And you know, sour cream has, especially non-fat, has that flavor to it. So I'm going to see what it's like with the miracle berries. It's sweet. Definitely sweet. It's got the sour cream flavor in the background, but it's definitely sweet. It almost tastes like a dessert. It's not super sugary, but that is good. That is like a really good light. Okay. Normally sour cream is quite high in fat and calories. So about 2 tablespoons of it here is about 25 calories. Okay, so that's a lot less. Fat-wise is 0.4 grams per 2 tablespoons. So this would be a great bedtime snack. Or a dessert. And I have a good suspicion that if you were to take some of the lemon and use this as a sweetener and squirt some of this into the mixture, that citrusy, that acidic, lower pH would actually make it more sweet. Let's see if I'm right about that. Definitely. It adds a little bit more sweetness to it for sure. Anyway, that is good. So, non-fat sour cream, really good to use with miracle berries. Okay, next up, I'm going to try the cottage cheese. So this is 2% cottage cheese. We'll see what this one's like. So this is higher in protein. So for the purposes of fat loss and weight management, a higher protein is extremely good idea. It's not necessarily sweeter, but it certainly does taste good. I wouldn't say it's making much sweeter, probably because cottage cheese in itself doesn't have that much sourness to it. But what happens if we were to squirt some lemon into it and change that? Obviously a little more lemony, but sweet. That's good. So, if you're making recipes for the purpose of using miracle berries, you could just use lemon in your recipes, and I'm almost certain that that is going to be one of the best ways to sweeten the food. Alright, next up I have about 95% to zero fat cream cheese by Philadelphia. So, let's test this out. It's a little more thicker. That's good. It's not super sweeter, but that is really good. I can see myself spreading that on vegetables. That's really good. So per tablespoon, you're looking at 20 calories. That coming from fat is 0.5, so not a whole lot there, but that would be a really good snack. Now I'm curious, I do want to try it with the lemon again. Let's see if we can kind of change the sweetness profile on this. Now it's a lot sweeter too. That's good. I could eat this up all day. Okay, so far, sour cream probably the best. I love the cream cheese. And then the cottage cheese with the lemon would be a good idea. So now I'm going to try the 0% fat Greek yogurt. This is usually what I recommend to my clients because it's a higher protein yogurt. So you can add your own sweeteners, your own fresh fruit into it. And that way you can get another high protein meal out of it. Varying your protein sources, which is cool and nice. So here we go, I'm going to try this. Normally this yogurt is a little bit more bitter than some of the other yogurts, especially if you get the kind that's plain. This is plain, there's no sugar or fruit added. So a lot more palatable than usual. Normally I have to add some sort of sweetness or fruit to it, personally, and now I don't have to. Nice. It's nice. I bet you if I added some fruit, especially some citric fruit, that would be really good. So again, I'm going to try this because so far it's been good to me. Yeah, still extremely sweet. Let's try this out. Not bad. Doesn't add a whole lot. It's not super sweet. But it's nice. Definitely more palatable than usual for me. Okay, next up, I am going to try the salt and vinegar chips. As you know, salt and vinegar chips have that very strong sour vinegary taste. Clean my palate. So we're going to try this out. I don't usually eat a lot of chips, only for the fact that a lot of vegetable oils in it that are, but a lot of vegetable oils, so calories go up real quick, and so I don't get to eat a lot of chips, especially if I'm dieting down for a photo shoot. So, chips taste good, but these chips taste really good. But it takes away that sharp vinegary taste and makes it somewhat sweet. Not gross sweet because they're chips, but perfect. It allows you to taste the actual potato. Try this, I like. That's a fun way to eat chips, for sure. a lot sweeter, a lot more easy to eat. Nice. Alright, so I'm just going to clean my palate, and then I'm going to try a couple different things like the mustard, some of the vinegars, and the sour peas. Alright, so next up I'm going to try mustard. Now, I heard the mustard tastes really good, so I'm very interested to see what this is going to taste like after having the miracle berries. So, I'm going to pour out a little bit here. As you know, mustard tastes pretty good, but it has a very vinegar sharpness to it. So I'm going to see what this tastes like. And I have a good feeling it's going to make it taste pretty sweet. Yeah, completely cuts that vinegar taste and makes it actually sweet. You could almost drink it. It's definitely something that I could eat easily without any issues. Put that on like salad or anything, a spread like that, and adds sweetness to it. That's good. Let's try a little bit of cheddar cheese and mustard. That's perfect. Totally cuts the bitterness of that cheese, and then the mustard makes it really smooth. That's a good combination. Mustard is really low calorie. That's something you could add on to anything like your salads or anything that you're eating, food and that. That's a good way to get some flavor and without having to sacrifice for extra calories, which when you're dieting down to lean levels, you do have to be really careful with your condiment use and things like that, just to make sure that you're not overshooting your macros for the day. Alright, so next up I'm going to try some of the vinegars. Now, I don't recommend drinking a lot of vinegar, probably because it might upset your stomach, because it is quite acidic. But as we know, as I've now discovered, with the miracle berries, it's going to cut that vinegar's sharp sourness out of it. So let's start first with balsamic vinaigrette. So here's an aged balsamic vinaigrette I'm going to try, and we'll see what this is like. It's sweet, it tastes good, still tastes like that balsamic vinaigrette, but it's sweet, so it's actually palatable. I feel like I could drink it, though it still has that vinaigrette. So the tingly sensation in my throat and came up my nose, that's why so it was kind of good. It was cool, but that would be good on a salad for sure. It'd be a non-sugar added salad, which actually tastes really good. Here's red wine vinegar. So let's try this one out. Cut some of the vinegariness, sharpness out of it, so you actually taste more of the wine flavor. That's good. It didn't burn the throat too much. A little bit, but not too much. This one, I believe, is Price wine vinegar. So I'm going to try this one, just a little bit though, because I know it's probably going to burn my throat quite a bit. I can actually drink it, which is funny. Yeah. Yeah. Again, cuts that vinegarness out, and you can actually sip it, and it's a little bit sweet too. I thought that'd be a lot more harsh. Still burns the throat all the way down, especially back here, but on the tongue and in the mouth, completely fine. Now this is apple cider vinegar. So let's try this. A little more sour, burns a little bit more in the throat, but it's still a little sweeter than if I didn't have the miracle berry. I probably wouldn't be doing that often if I did not try the miracle berry. Alright, so try some of the vinegars. Balsamic vinaigrette was great. That would be awesome in salads because a lot of the salad dressings have sugar in them. At least the really good tasting salad recipes do. So if you're trying to lower your carbohydrate intake, then that would be a really good way to do it. Okay, next up, I'm going to try the tonic water. I'm not a big fan of tonic water. And for the purposes of doing this for weight management and fat loss, I'm going to pick diet tonic water. So it contains, I believe, what do we got here? Ace K and aspartame. And both the research shows, at least the good clinical research shows that it's, for most people, the most population, you're not going to have an issue with it. But if you do, just don't drink aspartame or Ace K. Simple as that. Still bitter, but it does taste more sweet. But I'm still not a fan. It definitely tastes better, probably, but I'm not a fan of tonic water. So let's try a little bit of lemon juice in here as our natural sweetener. Now we'll try a little bit more sweet. Still not a fan though. It's got that really bitterness to it. Maybe we put some alcohol in it. Better with the lemon. Otherwise, I'm not a big fan of tonic. Nice. Okay, so the final thing that we're going to try is the sour keep, which obviously is sour, but it also has its own sugar in it. And then Tabasco sauce. Not a big fan of spice, however, I heard that this tastes really good with miracle berries, so I'm going to try that out. So the final one, we're going to do a sour keep. It completely cuts the sourness right out of it. That's like, 2 times as sugary. It's a good way to eat sugar and candy. Making my teeth squeak with all the citric foods. It's great for my enamel. That's good. I'm not a big candy fan, but when it takes away the sourness like that, that's really enjoyable. That's good. Alright. Final thing, Tabasco sauce. Other things you can do miracle berries with, like limes, kiwis, and a lot of other fruit. My grocery store doesn't have any in stock, so. Alright, I'm going to try some of this Tabasco sauce. Okay, not a big fan of spice, personally. I like Indian food, but not really spicy food, so let's try this out. It's sweet. It cuts the vinegar part of it, so you can actually really taste the pepper. That tasted really good. Still spicy though, so that part doesn't go away. So it doesn't take away any spice from it, but it does add. I really do like the cut of that vinegar, so you can really taste the chilies, the pepper. That was good. Very good. Awesome. Okay. So my favorite foods by far, from the fruits, strawberries and lemons and oranges, definitely the best. I'm not a fan of grapefruit to start with, but it definitely was more palatable and I kind of like the taste. Watermelon was a bit more sweet, but nothing to write home about. Granny Smith apple took away the sourness, so it tasted just like a normal apple. So not a big win there, but it was pretty cool. For the vegetables, Carrots tasted like carrots. Celery flavor was enhanced. Onion tasted pretty good actually. The pickled onion was sweeter because of the vinegarness. Don't like tomatoes, so forget about it. The rhubarb, that was my favorite. This tastes like a sugar stick. I love it. So I would definitely eat rhubarb again after having miracle berries. Then what did we try? Cheddar cheese was cool because it cut the bite out of the cheese, which was really nice because I could taste more of the cheesiness. But I'm sure cheese connoisseurs would not like that. Mustard in itself tasted absolutely fantastic. I could drink this stuff. So putting this in my food after miracle berries would enhance it greatly. Sour key was sweet. Twice as much sugary. And that's because it took away the sourness. And what else? Salt and vinegar chips are freaking sweet because of the vinegar. Turned it more of a sweet, smooth, palatable. Greek yogurt, not a big win on that one, but it does make it less bitter. And mixing it with fruit, especially citric fruit, would be very good and make it more sweet. The cream cheese absolutely tasted great. Sour cream is probably the biggest winner because it almost tastes like dessert. So having that, it maybe with a little bit of lemon in it too, that would be really good, low calorie snack to have, and kind of cream cheesiness, cheesecakeness. And then the cottage cheese didn't really change at all. It might have taken some of the sour bitterness out of it, but with the lemon in it, tasted really good. So I'm happy with all of those. The vinegars, when you're cooking with different vinegars, and you're going to be using miracle berries, that's the way to go. Because it enhances the flavor without adding really any calories. So it enhances the flavor of the food and the meal itself. Tonic water, I don't like tonic water anyway, so maybe somebody else would enjoy that, but I didn't. So anyways, it was a really good result. I'm happy. It's a lot of fun. And at less than $2 a tablet, depending on where you buy it from, you might be saving some money. Or I should say, you might be, if it means fat loss, if it means enjoying your food more, and ultimately lowering the amount of macronutrient intake, if you're trying to get to lean body fat levels, then I would say that it might be economical for you, because there are a lot of fat loss supplements out there that don't really own up to their claims and cost an arm and a leg, so much money. Burning holes in your pockets, it's worthless. So if you're in a caloric deficit, getting the right amount of protein in your macronutrients, you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose body fat, especially if you are doing some formal exercise as well. So this might help out, and it would be cheaper than most supplements if it allows you to eat less. But overall, I think it's just fun, and so have fun with it. Enjoy your food and experiment. It's cool. Anyways, the tablets will last. It depends on the person, because I believe the enzymes will break down the glycoprotein from the berry. So I think it lasts about 30 minutes to an hour, maybe even 2 hours, depending on the person. So that's plenty enough time to have a nice meal and experiment with a bunch of different foods. As you can see, it's still working for me. I believe so. Yeah. So, and it's already been I don't even know, so a long time. So it's still working for me. So I'm still going to enjoy all these foods when I'm done the video. Alright, I'm going to write a little blog post on it, and then with a little bit more information. You can see that on the description down below. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more information on nutrition, fat loss, and muscle building tips, and any sort of exercises with mobility, and etc. Alright, have a good one.